when you're a little confused about how to pronounce a particular word, right? Because when you're speaking, reading, or writing, there are times when you have certain words and you're not very sure about the pronunciation, right? You keep asking people about, or you think like, well, how did my teacher pronounce this word, or how did it? Or you make a guess, right? Or you make a guess because you're not very sure on that pronunciation, and when you make a guess, you find, oh, that was a little wrong, right? It happens sometimes, right? How would you know how to pronounce a word? But before that, tell me one thing. Do you believe that it's important to have right pronunciation, right? Because the beauty of language is its pronunciation, if you agree with me. Yes or no, right? So if you are in a country where you do not know the right pronunciation, or let's say if you meet somebody who does not know the right pronunciation of your native language, you will find it's difficult to connect with them, right? So there's a disconnect. The minute you have a wrong pronunciation, you disconnect. Language was built for one important reason, and that is to connect people, right? It's not about disconnection. But sometimes when the pronunciation is not accurate, it separates, it disconnects. So if you want to be somebody who wants to build connection, who wants to speak with accuracy, right, as accurate as you should be in the native standard parameters, right? For that, we need to know what is the pronunciation rules. There are certain rules of it. But if you agree with me by now that pronunciation is very important, and it's always a good idea to get that training. So this video is going to be for you, right? If you are a college graduate or a working professional, or sometime when you want to be independent when it comes to pronunciation, this video is going to be for you. Now, so let's begin with one question. The question is, how do you know how to pronounce a word? Very simple question. So I give you three choices, and let's see which one is your best choice, right? The three choices are, let's say A, and so first one is you break the word, right? And second choice is you listen, listen to the native speaker, right? That's the second choice. And the third one is refer to dictionary, right? You refer to dictionary. Three choices you have. The first one is you break the word into different parts. Second one is you listen to the native speaker. And the third one is you refer to dictionary. Which one is your favorite? And yeah, which one is your favorite? Right? Some people say, I break the word. It works sometimes, it doesn't work sometimes. But actually, it doesn't work most of the times. So let's see. Let's take a word now. All right. Right? Rendezvous. That's a word, right? Random word. And let's apply the first one. Is it working? So if I say break the word, does it help? It won't help here. In fact, I've seen this doesn't help, and that's not the right approach to it. It doesn't help because it's not working, right? It may work with one or two, but it's not the standard approach for understanding the right pronunciation. So we can skip that one, right? So if you break it like ren, des, versus not the right pronunciation. Now let's go. You take the second one. You say, okay, I'm gonna go listen to the native speaker. So now you have two choices. Either you have a right, the live native speakers in front of you, or you have the electronic medium to listen to this pronunciation. Both are okay, right? It may work, may not work, but it works, right? It works. So that's also one of the approaches, because now we have talking dictionaries, so you can listen to this word and figure out what the pronunciation is. One problem with the second approach, which I've noticed, is that it's a dependency. It's not teaching you anything. It's like that you have a word, you listen to the native speaker either through electronic medium or through the live person, but it's a dependency, right? It's not teaching you anything about the pronunciation, right? I mean, it's not making you independent. For that moment, the problem is solved, but then it's not the permanent solution, right? Now, the third one, which has always worked, and it worked for me, and it works for most of the teachers. So if you're a teacher of English, or if your job requires you to, teach language, then or even if you're a learner, right? It works for all, in fact, right? Because pronunciation is needed for all, right? So if you look at the third approach, it always works. It always works because refer to dictionary. Do you remember when learning? If you refer to dictionary, you have a word, and then right in front of word, you have these two lines, and between these two lines, you have a pronunciation written in the form of symbols, right? In the form of phonetic symbols. We call them IPA, International Phonemic Association, or International Phonemic Association, or International Phonemic Alphabets, right? So IPA. Now, IPA is the study of speech sounds. We have 44 sounds in English, and IPA is the study of speech sounds. So when you go to the dictionary, you pick up a word and you see there's a phonemic transcription given in these two lines. And if somebody, as a learner, if you have been trained in this phonology and phonemic transcription, you will be able to read this pronunciation very well without even asking anybody. So what happens? I go to the dictionary, I look at this, it will be something like this, like raw day. Wait, what and ooh, rendezvous, right? And there's two columns at the end. So rendezvous. So the minute I look at this, and if I know how to read these symbols, I would know immediately, oh, this is rendezvous, it's not rendezvous, right? So breaking of the word I have seen, it doesn't work in most of the context and with most of the words, but phonemic transcription always works. That's the reason it's been given there in the dictionary. And always remember as a learner, this is always from here to here. It's not from here to here, right? So whenever we practice pronunciation, it's from phonemic transcription to the word, because that is the pronunciation. So we need to know the phonemic transcription. So the beauty of phonemic transcription is you become aware of these 44 sounds. And when you speak, you take care of them, you follow the rules, and you pronounce most of the word with accuracy. So to answer your question, like how do you know how to pronounce a word, I would recommend the third approach, which is refer to dictionary, read the phonemic transcription, be good at understanding and reading phonemic transcriptions, because that way you become the independent when it comes to pronunciation. You would know the exact pronunciation without even asking your teacher. The question is, how do we know the right pronunciation, right? And the answer lies in dictionary, because dictionary says so, because phonemic transcription says so. Make sense? So this is one way of understanding. This is one way of being better with the pronunciation. Now let's talk about. So let me clear it up. Now let's take a few minutes to understand monophthongs, right? So most of the students, they ask me, oh, it's very difficult to remember these symbols. Yeah, there are 44 sounds, yeah, but most of them, so that the 20 vowels and then 24 consonant sounds, right? So most of the consonant sounds, they look exactly like the letter, so you will be able to remember them, recognize them when you look at it. But let's talk about the first 20 vowels. And these 20 vowels have been divided into 12 plus 8. 12 is single vowel sound, which is monophthongs. We call them mono means single vowel sound. And these 8 are diphthongs, which is like combination of two monophthongs. So let's have a look at it. And I want to teach you a trick, like so that you can remember them quickly in no time. With few practices, you will be able to remember them right here. Right? Now let's do this. Take a piece of paper and do exactly what I'm doing here. Make a chart like this, right? Okay. One, two, three, four columns and 3 rows. Done it? And let's keep writing what I'm writing, and let's see how it goes. All right. And we have oh. Then we have and we have All right, whenever you see colon means long vowel sound. Right, colon means long vowel sound. So these symbols that I've written here, they are 12. There are 12 monophthongs, like single vowel sound. Now, and they're written in these 2 lines, right? These 2 lines means they are sound now. Okay? You can do that later or now, or you just remember it. Okay? All right? Easy? No. Now, next is you just keep writing the word associated with the sound. For example, this short it sound as in it, as in bit, right? As in hit, sit, short it sound. Then you have e, the long one, like eat, heat, right? She, long vowel sound e because colon, right? Then you have oop sound, which is short one. For example, foot, or for example, book, right? Book, etc., etc. Short oop sound. Then you have long one, which is like food, right? Food, blue, right? Blue, etc., etc. Long oo sound. And once we know these differences better, we'll be able to pronounce the words better, right? So for example, some people say food. It's not food, it's food. You understand why it's so important? This is as in met, and it exactly looks like the letter E, so you can easily identify it. Met, bet, right? That's sound. This is very important sounds of English. This is schwa sound. Schwa sound is very important. It has a name like schwa, and this is a short sound. That's it. Like ago, ago, America, recall, like up sound here, here, up sound, short one, and it's very popular because most of the O sound changes into up sound in English. I'll give an example in other videos, like how do they make a difference in your overall pronunciation. Then you have this sound, which is it's like bird, B-I-R-D, bird, word. Like, may I have a word with you? Right? May I have a word with you? It's sound, right? And then you have it's a short sound, as in hot, as in bot, right? Hot, bot, pot, P-O-T, pot, right? It's a short sound, right? Are you with me, right? So every symbol has a sound. And then you come to air, as in apple, as in apple, as in apple, as in cat. Here, right? Cat. So, for example, if I give you a word, we'll do some transcriptions, right? And then you will be able to relate it. Cat, apple. This is a little relaxed sound. So so here is met, here is ago, and here it is like bus, huh. With practice, you will be able to differentiate them. Huh. This is right? A with this two colon, as in ask. It's a long vowel sound. As in ask, task, father, right? This is O, like the short O and long one. So like law, right? Like war, war, O sound, right? So law, war. So there are 12 monophthongs for today. So let's not go into the diphthongs today, otherwise you'll get confused. I'll make another video for diphthongs. And this becomes quite important. It has a so much important role. Remember, in our childhood, when we were learning the pronunciation, maybe not, but when we used to refer to dictionary, we happily ignore. We used to happily ignore those symbols. But so, just for fun, let me do some transcription. Let me write my name and then see how do we transcript. And you can do that too, right? You can do that too with your name. So let's take my name here. Vishal, right? V-S-H-A-L. And then if I want somebody to pronounce it exactly with phonemic B, the short E, the sh sound, and this is A with colon and la. Vishal, right? That's how it's written in phonetics. And then you take a few more things in English and you can try your name, right? How do you phonemically transcript your name, right? And let's take a word like Cambridge, right? Cambridge. And some people end up saying Cambridge, which is wrong, right? So if I see the word and I go to the dictionary and I need to know, so I say co, then this diphthongs. We'll learn diphthongs when we do it, but it's right. Here's K, M, B, and this is a J sound here. Cambridge. So it's going to tell me this is not apple. Cambridge is not Cambridge like cat. This is Cambridge. So this one is wrong. This one is correct. How do we? So this is the benefit of understanding phonetics. So you can self-correct without asking anybody, right? Take another word, computer. I go to dictionary, then you say co. This is a ya sound, by the way. It looks like J, but it's not J. Computer. That's a computer. You can have this. It's a long one. Computer, right? So you can play with sounds in order to remember them. You can start playing with symbols and sounds, start reading them, and this way you'll be independent when it comes to pronunciation. Pronunciation is a very important, powerful rule of speech. You will agree with me, the beauty of every language is its pronunciation. Happy learning, and keep watching my videos for more ideas, more knowledge on language in use.